gonna open this up. Ooh, my own personal spa. Look at my glasses. Hey, what's up guys? Emmanuel Duverneau here with another episode of Is It Excellent? So last week we made a tuna melt. We had the fresh ingredients inside of it: dill, parsley, onions, celery, everything you could imagine inside of a tuna melt. We made potato chips, fried them right on the stove. They were easy to make, but now we're gonna make something different. See, today we're making a steak, New York strip steak, some homemade creamy mashed potatoes, and then we're making one of my favorite vegetables, broccolini. I like broccoli, but I prefer broccolini because it just looks fancier. It looks like a higher class of a broccoli. Like, look at it. So let's get into why I'm making this recipe. Lisa doesn't like a lot of steaks with a lot of fat on it. Ribeye, my favorite cut. I love it, juicy, but there's a lot of fat in it. New York strip has the fat. We all know fat is flavor, but it also does have a good amount of meat. It's not too fatty. She calls it the jiggly bits. Come over here, Lisa. I can't have it with jiggly bits in it because usually when she's biting into the steak, the moment she gets a little piece of fat, she opens her eyes and just stares. Now I gotta watch her deconstruct the steak and fat out of her mouth. Now I'm turned off.
Tiny little bits that you get in there that are not the meat, they're fat, they're something else. We don't like it, we don't want it, it's disgusting, big X.
How does this one look?
This one looks like there is a lot of little fat things around the side, but I'm hopeful that this will work out. I'm hopeful I'll take a bite and I won't instantly regret it like I do sometimes.
Okay. We're gonna let the steak rest. Be sure to let it rest for about 20 to 30 minutes before you cook it. By letting it rest, we're letting it get to its actual temperature, so when we cook it, it all cooks consistently. We're gonna start off with the mashed potatoes. So I have some russet potatoes over here. They're great, starchy. So we're gonna start off with peeling the potatoes.
So fast at it.
You gotta be fast in the kitchen, right? And also, I like to eat food pretty quick. I don't like cooking to take forever. And this is about 2 pounds of potatoes. And then all I'm gonna do next is just start cubing them. What I found out doing it this way ensures that the potatoes actually boil quicker so you can get on with your life a little faster. We're gonna fill up our pot with water. We'll wait. Put a little potato nuggets in there. Okay, now we're gonna get started on the cream mixture for the potatoes. I'm just gonna add about 1/4 cup of milk. It says 6/12/2023, but that's not smelling like no 6/12/2023, so I'm just gonna discard. We're gonna try this again. And then go in with some heavy cream, about 1/4 cup as well. I have a few garlic cloves over here, just gonna add 2. And smashing them versus, pureeing the garlic or mincing it. When you mince it, too much flavor, it's gonna make the garlic taste a little bit stronger, but smashing it slightly, it's gonna make sure that it infuses it lightly, just so that the garlic doesn't overpower the whole meal. Just gonna take a look at the cream sauce for the potatoes. Just gonna mix it up a little bit, just to make sure that everything's looking good. We don't want the sauce to break, that's why we're simmering it. It's looking good. So right now we have the cream mixture on simmer to get that garlic flavor. Potatoes still boiling to get fork tender. Right now what we're gonna work on while that's happening is just the broccolini. We're just gonna cut off a little bit of the end, like the hard bits. Take off any of these leaves that you guys might be seeing. Get it looking all cute. This is what we wanna get rid of. All of these little end bits. I mean, look at this. What is this doing on my plate? We're gonna put the broccolini in the steam oven and start steaming it. And it says it's gonna take about 9 minutes. Woo! I got myself. Look at that. Fork tender potato. That's gonna ensure that when we rice them, they're gonna go through there smooth. Now we're just gonna start ricing them. Just grab a few potatoes, put it in here, and voila. Now I already know my steak to potato ratio is off. 1 steak, a whole pack of potatoes, but it's okay. I'm gonna eat this later. It's not only for today. The goal is to have leftovers. So now that all the potatoes are riced, immediately we're gonna hit it with some butter. 3 tablespoons butter. We're gonna just start mixing it up. Look at how smooth this is looking. Just want to show you, look at this. We used unsalted butter so we could control the salt. Using salted butter, you don't know if it's gonna add too much salt or not. I like to control the salt and add it at the end. So now we have our cream mixture. Just gonna slowly add some. Now I made sure to take off the whole shell of the garlic off of mine, just so when I'm pouring it in slowly, none of that goes in there. Look how smooth that is. So smooth. It's like a baby's bottom. The potatoes really soak in all of that cream mixture. As you can see, it might look all wet, but when I start mixing, it like all goes away. We get to control the salt now. Black pepper, and then we mix.
Oh wow, these look so good. Let me see. So creamy. Good job.
Happy wife, happy life. And everything else is gonna cook pretty quick. So all I'm gonna do is turn my oven on warm mode. So now let's just prep to make a sauce for the steak so we could pour over it. Red wine reduction sauce, simple, just consists of butter, red wine, beef stock, shallots, and garlic, as well as thyme and a little salt and pepper to taste. Woo, Jesus, that thing is potent. I'm crying. Get started on the garlic. Look at that. Perfect, so now we have our steak. Gonna just season it. I like to do it simple, salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. Some salt. So we season the steak. Usually when I'm cooking a steak, I wanna make sure that I have a great pan. 2, using a high smoking point oil. You can use olive, avocado, and once it heats up a little bit, I'm just gonna lay the steak away from me just so I don't splatter anything on me. Just gonna add a little bit of oil. And I have my flame on medium high. You wanna make sure that when you put the steak down, it sizzles. That's how you know the pan's hot enough. It's gonna be loud. See how it's smoking? We're gonna lay away from us. Press it all down. We're gonna flip every minute, 30 seconds. See all the smoke? Imagine if I didn't have a vent. Look at that crust. I'm just gonna add some butter. A little bit more butter. Turning down the heat. And we're basting the steak for about 30 seconds. Look at the foamy butter. How's that look, Lise?
It smells so good. It's buttery goodness.
Perfect. So here's the final product, steak. Gonna let it rest before we cut into it. Beautiful crust on that. Broccolini's done. Just gonna open this up. Ooh, it's my own personal spa. Look at my glasses. So while the steak's resting over there, let's work on the sauce for the steak. The garlic, thyme, the shallot that we minced earlier, I'm gonna put it in the sauce. Cook it for probably a minute. Oh, it smells so good. I'm telling you guys, if you could smell what I'm smelling, you would be going like, start eating the steak in the plate. Bottle of red wine. I'm just gonna add about 1/4 cup. Just let that reduce. You could tell it's reducing when you put a line through the pan. We'll put some beef stock in there and then add some butter. Season it with salt and pepper. Oh, delicious, honestly delicious. Look at this beautiful sauce. To pour right over the steak. Add in some olive oil, generous amount for these broccolinis. We don't want them to burn, we just want to char them up a little bit. That's what we're looking for. To enhance that flavor. Can't forget about Peppa Pig. Let's flip these bad boys. There you go. That's what we're looking for. Let's give it a little bit of that acidity. There you have it. Beautiful broccolini. Simple, easy, steamed it, charred it. I'm gonna take our delicious steak that's been resting. Look at that. Place that down. We slice against the grain, not with the grain, against the grain, to ensure that the meat's tender and it's not too chewy. Now, once again, this is how we like it.
So this is medium?
Yep, we like it medium. Perfect medium. Now time to plate. Moment you all been waiting for, salivating for. We're gonna start off with the base of our mashed potatoes. Look at this creamy potato. We don't wanna be cheap here. We wanna give them enough potato. You guys waited enough. Now we're gonna go in with our steak. So we have our steak, just like that. For the broccolini, we're gonna use a little layering technique. How's that look? With sauce all around the side of the plate. There you have it. Steak, broccolini, creamy mashed potatoes. The flavors, I already know, are amazing. I mean, look at this plate. Looks like something you got out of a restaurant, I think. But the question is it excellent? Make sure to subscribe to Chef's Kiss so you can watch these recipes, watch these videos, and get an update every time a new episode drops. Once again, my name is Emmanuel Duverneau, out.